Welcome to another special episode of TanPants.
This episode is special because it is.
Yep. Remember that movie we tried to see last time? We saw it, and we have some thoughts about it.
That's right.
I have several thoughts.
Clay has several things to share.
Yep.
Now, Clay, you brought a bag of apples. Does that have to do with your review, or did you just have a bag of apples?
Now I forgot we were doing the review.
Oh,
You
okay.
just bought some
So this is
apples?
just for like the topic.
Me, Josh, and Clay went to see Dune at our local theater that worked. It wasn't a fancy IMAX screen.
You mean Clay, Josh, and I?
Is it what'd I say?
You
roasted.
said me, Josh, and Clay.
Okay, so I went to the theater with Mr. Grammer and my best friend
Yeah.
Clay, and Mr. Grammer just talked the whole time, correcting everyone on screen with the grammar. But the movie theater, there was like a smudge on the screen
Oh yeah.
the whole time. I kept thinking it was like a bird. Like, oh no, that's just a mark on the screen.
I kept seeing that and I was like, oh, that must be a person way down there.
No,
And then it's just not.
but still, it was a very, very good time. And then Max, you saw the movie a different way.
Yes, I watched it. I streamed the whole thing in my living room on my couch.
Nice. So how was that experience for you?
It was great. I made my own popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
You
I sat down.
You borrowed my computer monitor.
I borrowed Josh's computer monitor.
It was a nice one.
And Isaac did come and see it too with me and my wife.
Yeah,
So-
you
So
invited
you
me.
saw it a second
Yeah.
time.
I've seen the movie twice. Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen it twice, technically.
you have too.
Technically.
Okay, what's the tech? Explain the technicality.
Because last week, when we didn't get to watch it, I saw the first few minutes in line. Remember?
Oh, that's right. You were watching it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
paid money for an HBO Max subscription, all for a joke. I committed to the joke.
That's pretty
I
good.
remember that because we were
Yeah.
sitting there waiting in line, and Clay like puts his phone over my shoulder, like, let's just watch it right now.
Yeah.
right.
Well, I had a pretty good experience just in the comfort of my own home.
Seeing it streamed and also seeing it in theater, the streaming experience was all right, but it was nowhere near the spectacle of that big screen because you lost so much information on that tiny screen.
I don't think I lost that much information.
And I saw a lot of people online that were like, whoa, the IMAX.
Yes.
Whoa.
I really wanted to see it in IMAX because it was filmed in IMAX.
Like it had the guy in the chair with the loud music that's blowing him back.
Yeah.
It's like seeing Dune in IMAX.
So yeah, we weren't able to do that. What are your thoughts on Dune, everybody?
It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I actually,
That's all we need to know.
That's it.
That's it.
So Max hated the movie.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it that much.
What
It was
are your,
way too much hype.
way too much hype. Okay.
The whole movie was just like I guess if you're going into it with an expectation of like, ooh, maybe it'll be like a Lord of the Rings or
This is
like
the
maybe
next-
a,
yeah.
maybe it's a 3-part series or something like that. It's going to be good, man. But then you go and watch it and you're like, wow, this is just, the whole thing is cynical. All the characters, if they died at any point during the movie, I wouldn't care. The main issue I had with it was I'm sitting there watching it. I'm trying to get hyped. I'm trying to be like, this is going to be a great movie because I've heard so much about it.
Mm-hmm.
The movie opens up, this kid's dreaming about this girl and the sand and the people and the sand people and all this excitement and stuff.
I call them Sandmans.
The Sandmans. And then towards the end of the movie, he's there in the sand and the people and the worms and the sand stuff. And then there's the girl and then nothing happens. They just look at each other. And then you're like, oh, well, nothing is new.
Yeah.
I knew everything. I could have guessed that this would happen. And it did because it showed me at the beginning of the movie what the end was going to be like.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
At the very end,
So-
I was like, I wanted to know what everything was all about, and I wanted it to keep going. But then I was like, oh, wait a second. At the beginning, it said part 1. And then the
Yeah.
movie ended right there as I thought that. And I was like, oh.
The main character, the kid, I was annoyed at him the whole time because he was just, I know how to
He's
do
like,
everything.
I'm not in the mood.
I'm just exactly. he was just a spoiled brat the whole time, and then his dad dies, and then you're like,
I feel like
you didn't care about the dad.
I didn't care about him. I mean,
What we've learned here is Max doesn't care about people. Max is
Well-
a psychopath who doesn't care about people.
Psychopath.
So
Well, they didn't they didn't play that much of a character building kind of story.
well, okay. We were also, as we're watching the movie, we had to turn the audio up and down because the baby was asleep.
Yes, in the other room.
Did you hear all the audio? Did you hear all the dialogue?
Yeah, I did.
Because there was really good dialogue, really good conversations.
No, I caught it. Oh, I caught
He just
it.
doesn't care.
You didn't care about
I
it.
was just like, I didn't feel emotionally attached to any of the characters. They didn't develop in any way during the whole story.
Oh, they developed.
No. The kid just got more annoying.
That's
and
developed.
his mom just got.
That is developed.
That's the definition of development,
That's
Maxwell.
like de-development.
No. So at the beginning of the movie,
well, Max meant like in a proper story way.
Like you see Frodo and you see Sam, and they have this whole peaceful thing, and then you see this darkness they have to go upon, and then it's like
Frodo's
a
a
journey.
jerk.
It's like a whole journey, and then Frodo turns into a jerk.
Maxwell, answering honestly, is Frodo annoying?
Oh yeah, but you
Does
understand.
Frodo get more annoying as the story progresses?
But you
Yeah.
understand
But
why.
then he fixed it.
And at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
at the end of the story, what happens?
He bit
dies.
off,
Yeah.
Sam's finger.
But listen-
no, that was Gollum.
But listen, you understand why he was so annoying, because the ring was actually corrupting him. But Sam was there as his best friend that never gave up on him. So it's like, it's good, right? It's good. It's good character stuff. Dune had, to me, anyways, had no good character building stuff at all.
It had all character building stuff.
No,
That
it
was the
didn't.
whole movie.
No, it didn't.
The whole movie was character.
Well, I think it was more like character framing, like
Mm-hmm.
letting you know what the character is rather than seeing a change.
It showed me way too much with his visions. And at the end of the movie, I wasn't caught by surprise by anything. And
That's
then
how the book was written.
And then I was like, this is part one. This is gonna be a really long series, and I don't want to watch part one again because
Okay, Clay, what do you think of the movie?
It was good. I think it'll be more like he said, the character development. There'll be more.
I'm expecting there to be more.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm kind of getting the Assassin's Creed 2 vibe from it.
We don't know what that means.
We don't know,
Could
Clay.
you
Good.
explain that?
You're
Okay.
the
Well,
only one
like
who
in
played.
Assassin's Creed,
Okay.
there's Ezio. He was kind of really brash, just
Right.
a cocky young guy, womanizer, everything. And then his family died,
Right?
and then he went on this journey to become an assassin.
As
And that
you
was
do.
the first game. And then there was 2 other games that he went through. In the second game, he it kind of assessed that he's now a lot older. Like the doctor mentioned, a man your age should, be careful.
Okay, so it was a time jump.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't actually, because it picks up where the game ended.
Oh,
Where the first game ended, like an hour later.
how does this tie into the Dune?
He's
Well-
talking about character development.
Yeah, character development. And then
okay.
And then Revelations, he's like an old man. Like there was a time skip there, and he's like 50, 60 something. It really made it really good because you saw him age and you saw him grow.
Yeah,
From
you saw
that.
a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm expecting part 2 to just have a lot. I mean, part 1 was very necessary to start the story.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
you had to have all that.
Listen, Max,
To
when
just-
episode 9 comes out, you're going to be crying.
It's just, I don't like movies that just draw on so long and you have to wait for the second
So,
part to be any good.
For Dune, there might be a part 3,
Okay.
but that's like second book.
Right.
For sure, there's going to be a part 2, and that might be all they do.
Yeah.
If they do a third movie, it'll be the second book.
Now,
did they get approved?
Yes.
What if
Awesome.
they make the second movie and then they make the third movie and then they get bought by a company and then they're like, this is making so much money, let's keep making these, and then it dies from oversaturation.
Episode 47.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
That could happen,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
why shouldn't we get a good 2 movies?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this before everybody hates me for bashing Dune.
I hate you.
They already do.
Because they already do. As a Dune fan, I could see this movie being a home run.
Right.
For
Because
somebody who has who
Who didn't care about
Background.
Dune, yeah.
didn't care about Dune, that watched the movie because I thought it'd be cool, it was hard for me to get into it, I guess.
Yeah, because
Because there was so much more going on that I just didn't catch.
Dune is not. The story is a much colder story.
Yeah.
It's a much drier story.
Yeah.
It's not like a Star Wars. It's not like a Lord of the Rings. Dune is not going to be a trilogy. Dune's going to be a two-parter. So,
when part 3 comes out, we're gonna pull out this episode.
no, if part 3 comes out, it's second book.
Oh, so it's Dune 2 part 1.
It's Dune 2 part 1. Yes.
Oh no.
So it's Dune 1.1, then Dune 1.2, and then Dune 2.1.
Nice.
And then Dune 3. We promise this is the last one.
We promise. Now it's their kids. I mean, there are a ton of Dune books. They could,
Yeah.
in theory, keep going. But it's that first book that people really like. Now, the movie for me, it's not as good. I don't think it's going to be, in terms of trilogies, let's assume it's a trilogy. It was not as good as Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is still top.
Oh, of course.
Everyone's saying this is the next Lord of the Rings.
No.
Like, this is the next thing that's like Lord of the Rings.
No,
it's
I
not.
wouldn't even go close. I wouldn't even go close to Lord of the Rings.
I would say, yeah, because Lord of the Rings was an epic, big thing.
Yeah.
And Dune is also an epic, big thing.
Right.
But
It's epic.
But Lord of the Rings is the better, bigger, epic, big thing.
I will say this though about the movie, something positive. The scenery, the costumes, the effects, everything was just beautiful. The weapons, I like the weapons that they used. It was kind of like an old-timey future weapon. I love the whole idea, and I love the look of the movie.
You
It was
said
really
earlier,
cool.
Isaac, that it has like less CGI than most movies.
I think I was talking about Tenet
Oh, really?
when I said that. Tenet
okay.
had less than normal. No, Dune had plenty of CGI.
Okay.
But still, they did a lot of things in camera.
Yeah, I could tell the shield effects you could do simply. Not
Oh, yeah.
much CGI to do that.
Yeah.
One of the things they did, instead of having green screens, they had sand screens.
Sand.
They had these big old screens, the color of the sand,
Okay.
so they could get the light bouncing and have it be sand color bouncing back at them, and then they would
Okay.
go in and take out that color.
Okay.
Instead of using green screen, they used sand screen. I thought that was kind of cool.
So what'd you think about the writing?
I think it was done very well.
I don't know what to think about it.
You
I
know
don't
what to
know.
think?
Not really.
Well, the book was written very, very well. It's a very dry book, and it's a very complicated book.
Frank Herbert is a good writer.
He's a very good writer.
Yeah.
The first time Dune was made into a movie, they took the entire book and condensed it into one movie. And it was weird and complicated and strange and not very well explained.
And awful.
And David Lynch, the director, added a lot of his own weirdness to it that wasn't in the book. So it made it extra strange and extra weird. You had the opposite problem with The Hobbit. They stretched those movies farther than they needed to go. That should have just been 2 movies, but they stretched it to 3 movies.
Yeah, the 2 would have been perfect.
Dune is in the perfect middle, where they perfectly did the first half of the first book almost in its entirety. Watching the movie, I had flashes of the book as I was watching it. Like, I remember that part. Oh, I remember this part. Oh, that's that's how I imagined it when I read it.
Yep.
It was done so well. Yeah, Clay knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was there the entire time. Hey, that's from that. That's from that.
Yep.
Did you know that? Nah, Isaac's a good movie watching pal.
There was one moment where Josh leaned over and whispered something. It was at the part with the tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Part with the tooth. And Duke Leto?
I don't know any of their names.
Duke,
I don't know.
the Duke, Oscar Isaac breathes out after biting the tooth.
Oh yeah.
And everyone goes, "Ugh," everyone dies, you know.
Uh-huh.
And Josh leans over and he's like, he didn't use a snooper.
Yeah.
It was from the board
Oh,
game.
man.
Because of the board game, you pull out the cards, and he's like, I use poison. It's like, ha, it's useless. I have a snooper.
That's right.
But that scene with the tooth, that was pretty cool.
That was a great scene. The,
Minus the naked guy.
what naked guy?
Minus the naked
Oh, yeah.
guy lying
He
there
was
in the
naked.
chair.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was naked in a chair. You didn't
Yeah,
see
That's
him.
not that weird.
The Baron was humiliating the Duke.
Yeah.
He was just trying to humiliate
Right.
him.
So is he like the leader of like the humans?
No, so the House
Or
Atreides,
just the nation of
So-
Atreides?
in the history of Dune, or I guess the politics of Dune,
Okay.
you have all these houses,
Yeah.
Right.
and they represent kind of like countries,
Okay.
but more like large groups of people.
Right.
Like if all the Americans went into space,
Yeah.
And we are not all in one spot, but we're all American.
Yeah.
We're House Americana or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Uh,
They would give us a name like Americana.
yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever.
But
Yeah, sure.
the House Atreides, they ruled that planet at the beginning, Caladan.
You know the name of the planet?
I know the name of the planet. I read the
Nerd.
book.
Oh.
Caladan.
Right.
Harkonnen, they had Getty Prime, and they also had Arrakis, the Dune planet.
Iraq. Yeah, that was the name of the Dune planet.
And there are other houses that weren't mentioned in the movie that will probably come into play in the next movie.
Like
And
Spacing Guild.
the Spacing Guild is not really a house. They're just the people who run the spaceships. That
Oh.
gigantic
He
spaceship
wasn't
thing.
the raisin guy.
Those are the Raisin guys.
He was the raisin guys.
They haven't been
Yeah,
seen
didn't
yet.
you see
Wait,
their helmets?
what's the Atreides? Were they the green people?
Atreides were green, yeah. Here are my criticisms of Dune.
You have criticisms?
I have criticisms, yeah.
Were all the characters dry?
No. I think like all the
That's a
characters.
trick trash question because they were all in the desert.
They were
Of course they're dry.
You fool, you fell for it.
I fell for it.
Actually, I didn't see any chapped lips.
No, man. They had those still
They had the
suits.
still so they stayed pretty moist.
Yeah,
I
they're
guess.
nice and moist. I like the part when that lady gets stabbed in the back and all that water gushes out of her suit.
I was like, how does that much water in this?
The still suit keeps
I
a lot of
guess-
water,
I guess.
purifies it. The criticism that I have for Dune was at times it got a little too self-indulgent.
Self-indulgent.
Like the directors, I can imagine the director saying, "Wow, that's a pretty shot. Let's stay here for an extra 2 seconds or an extra 2." It's like the whole movie could have been about 10 minutes shorter.
That's your critique.
Yeah, that's a critique I have.
Okay.
The director was just, I mean, a lot of people probably really like how pretty the movie was,
Yeah.
but I think you could have shortened the movie by 10 minutes.
That's not really that big of a difference.
It's a pretty big difference. 10 minutes?
Just 10 minutes compared to the 2 hours.
Yeah. It was 2.5 hours.
That was a long movie.
Pretty long movie. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie. I mean, you couldn't have done it better because they did exactly the book. If you didn't like
Right.
the book, you weren't
Right.
going to like the movie
Yeah.
because they did exactly the book.
Because if you're a fan,
I
you read
guess.
the book, you see the movie, you're like, oh, this is just like the book.
They made the
This is
movie
perfect.
for people who love the book, and the people who love the book absolutely love the movie. So if you guys, any listeners, if you've read Dune and enjoyed Dune, you're going to like this movie because it's exactly that.
Dune, 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 Dune.
Okay,
Dune.
really quick.
Dune.
Everybody,
Dune, 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 Dune.
everybody, give your favorite part in the movie. Max, what was your favorite part?
I think I liked whenever you saw the Fremen at the end.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I think that would have
I-
saved the movie for
But
me a little bit.
That's when you were the most disappointed.
Exactly, but I feel like it would have been saved a little bit for me if they would have just introduced that whole group of Fremen way earlier. Because then you would have liked the Fremen more. They were kind of cool, and they had that fight at the end.
Well, they have another big fight at the end of the next story.
Well, you see, you keep like justifying the last story with the next story that isn't even out yet.
Well, I know what
That's the only-
happens.
I know. See, that's the only problem I have is I just don't know anything about the movie or the story of it.
I really like that fight at the end.
Yeah.
That was a
Okay,
good
so
fight.
maybe my favorite part was the Fremen fight. It was cool. Yeah.
Josh, what was your favorite part?
Is when the guy was like, my boy.
My boy.
That was good.
That's the only relatable thing in that in that whole movie.
My boy.
My boy.
Clay, what was your favorite part?
I guess when they were walking on the sand, because they introduced that earlier on in the movie, how to walk on the sand.
Yeah.
I'm like, they got to do it now. They got to do it now.
Oh, yeah.
You
Sand-
introduced it.
yeah,
It's
I
got to be done. When are you
The
going to do it?
sand
Right.
walk,
I had the
yeah.
same thought.
Yeah, I remember the sand walk in the book was like so important.
Yeah.
Like they stressed that a lot. This is very important to walk like this. And then the drum sand, when they introduced that in the book, it was like the scariest part of the book was the drum sand.
But
They made it super scary.
But I was watching it in my living room with my wife, and he said drum sand, and we're like, what? And then they just start running, and then we're sitting there like, what the heck is drum sand?
Yeah, that was
you know.
That was definitely thrown in.
I feel like a lot of people who read the book or knew a little bit more about the story were like, "Yeah, such a good movie." But me and my wife sitting there were like,
Yeah.
"We're not watching this
So
again."
you were like, what? And I was like, drum sand.
Exactly. Exactly. So that was me through the whole movie. I was like, "What the heck? Let's watch."
The movie was made for me, Maxwell.
Exactly.
The movie was made for
I feel
me.
like it wasn't made for guys like me.
Maybe you should read the book.
No.
Did anybody else
You wouldn't
think,
like the book either.
Did anybody else think when the fat guy, like he when he was in the chair and he had the long robe and then it like looked like he had like really long legs, but you later figure out that he just has floaty powers.
I thought he had long legs. Yeah.
He's just like
I did
Gru.
too. I thought,
Yeah.
he was a big fat guy, but they just give him
I
like.
said, "Is that his legs?"
I was like, I need to stop imagining what is going on.
When I was like, oh, he can fly. That's right. And your guy's like, does he have long legs?
Because his robe
I
went
saw it.
all the way down.
But I was kind of like,
I was thinking
that looks like he's flying because the way he's just like hovering up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you squint, it looks like it's legs.
He's got these tiny little legs.
I was like either legs or he's like a snake.
Ooh, Snake Man.
So he was like, I don't know, snaking up.
My favorite part of the movie was the part after the tooth, when that hazmat team go in with those really weird suits,
Yeah.
like to clean it up.
Yeah.
And they heard the choking on the ceiling. They look up and it's just the Baron like
Yeah,
curled
he's
on the
like
ceiling
he's
in the
like a
corner.
balloon you pop the string off at your birthday party.
He's like the rogue balloon at the top of a Walmart.
the top of a wall.
I thought that was really cool because in the book it wasn't really clear how he got away from that.
Right.
In the book, he just darted away fast enough.
Yeah.
But
Right. That scene was very like, oh my gosh.
yeah, like whoa.
Oh my goodness,
Nice.
that's unsettling.
Oh wait, I want to change my favorite part.
Okay.
I liked the part when they were all spitting in that cup,
Making
yeah,
coffee.
making
That was
their
the best
coffee or
part.
whatever.
Mhm.
But then those guys come down, like really silent,
Yeah.
and then they start walking, and everything's just covered in sand, including their little coffee thing. And you're like, how do they do that so fast?
They buried themselves like
Yeah.
so fast.
So
Because
I guess that
the sand is their home.
The sand.
exactly.
I also like that cool sand vibrating device they had.
Oh yeah.
What did that even do?
It would just move the sand. It like emitted some kind of frequency that made the sand, make a shape and get out of the way.
I just didn't
Oh.
get that.
Wait, what?
I didn't.
I
know
was
what
like, are they
happening.
like scanning the sand or something?
You left. You didn't see this part.
Does that when they hit under the sand too? Because I don't remember that part.
No. So Clay got up. Was like, I'm gonna get a refill. This doesn't seem like it's very story important. And he leaves, and he has this vision of his taking over the universe and like
Yeah.
getting blue eyes with his girlfriend and doing a big old fight in a gold suit. And then he gets out his cool sand disrupting device, and they leave the tent. And Clay comes back. He's like, "What I miss?"
But hey, I got a free refill.
That's
bad, not
that's
bad.
almost worth it.
Yep.
That's almost worth it.
The movie being explained to me and the excitement from a person that has read the book, played the board game, and is just a geek about it, it amped it up a lot for me. And then I watched it and I said, what? So maybe I just got let down because it was just way too over-exaggerated.
Sorry, Max.
You just had
Well,
your expectations.
for
too
me,
high.
They were too high.
my expectations were exceeded
Yeah.
when I saw it. I mean, I was excited for it. Then it went above and beyond what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's going to be as good as Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings, like you said, the characters are just better.
They're just so much better.
They're so much warmer. They're
They have-
warmer
yeah,
characters.
that's
Yeah, they
right.
have Gimli.
Gimli's in it. There's no Gimli in Dune.
Yeah.
But I think Dune felt more like a Shakespearean play. Like it's way more dry,
Yeah.
way more more deep, I guess.
More British.
More British.
Yeah. See, I just wasn't expecting that.
So what else can we possibly talk about? And the music was great.
The music was awesome.
Fantastic.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the music. That was really good.
Hans Zimmer.
I didn't remember most of it. I only
It has
remembered
some,
the
like,
drum sounds.
And then like some bagpipes.
Oh,
That
yeah, the
was good.
bagpipes were cool. I like the bagpipes.
I noticed that the theater we went to had surround sound when he floated up like a Walmart balloon.
Mm-hmm.
and the camera is facing the dudes with the grave thing. He was away, and you could hear him like
Crying.
Oh yeah, behind us. Yeah,
you could hear it behind us. I was like, oh, they have surround. I was like, this speaker.
Oh, a movie theater that has
forgot
surround
that surround
sound.
sound existed because
It's a
didn't-
theater, Joshua.
yeah.
I mean, I'd really like to
And that
get
was
it.
probably like the second time I've experienced surround sound.
I'd really like to get a not a surround sound system, just a good bass,
Yeah.
good speakers, and then like a projector that does at least 2K.
Yeah.
I liked the villain.
The villains were very good.
Yeah, they made it.
Yeah.
They made them serious. They made them imposing. They made them intelligent, skilled, and that seems to be a lot to ask nowadays.
Yeah.
Most villains nowadays seem like
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
They're betas.
no, they seem like what's that lizard guy from Galaxy Quest?
The lizard guy from Galaxy Quest. You mean the lobster man?
Yeah, the Lobster Man.
What was his name?
Balthazar?
No, Balthazar was
Oh, that was the guy.
You must save us. You are our last hope.
See, I like movies like that.
That's a fun movie. That's
It's
a
a
fun
great
movie.
movie.
It's not a
Anyways, that guy that's like Balthazar.
yeah, he was just
just
very,
seemed like
very
a
loud,
dumb-
very big.
He seemed like a dumb villain. These villains
Yeah.
were like Clay said, they were intelligent and they seemed like almost like calm,
Yeah, like
like the big fat guy.
they were just very, very threatening, very imposing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next movie, the next part of the story is when Paul strikes back, basically. That fight's very good because it's not just fighting, it's also like political.
Oh.
They have to like politically attack them in the right way.
Are you talking about the next movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a tier list.
Okay, so Joshua, so what is your tier list for? Like, what are you measuring?
I'm measuring all the characters in the Dune movie, the film that
Mhm.
happened in 2021.
Okay.
That they filmed it in.
Okay.
I'm ranking all the characters by how much I liked them. So in F tier, I have the witch lady.
The witch
that
lady,
made him put the hand in the box.
you didn't like her?
No, she was
Boring.
She was.
She was not boring.
She was pompous.
She wasn't boring.
You didn't like her.
I didn't like her because she was just kind of a rude old lady,
She was, and you were.
and she was witchy.
She had that same intimidation thing as the Baron.
I liked
Yeah.
the poison dart though. That was cool. Poison dart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for the other F tier is his the main character Paul.
What? You put Paul in
no,
F tier?
No. Paul's his vision girlfriend.
Oh, Zendaya.
Oh, yeah.
Who didn't do anything?
No, she didn't do anything in the movie.
She didn't even shake it up.
No,
Yeah.
and she seemed kind of like a sassy.
She was a sassy.
Yeah, because
I
at the
didn't
beginning of the movie, you're like looking for this girl the whole time.
I was
And
like,
at the end
she
of the
must
movie,
be
there
like,
she is.
She must be the key for like everything because he's always dreaming about her.
And then she shows up and she's like,
and she's
"You
like,
want this sword?"
Yeah.
And he's like,
and she's
No, no.
like, if you die with it, it's good.
and she's like, "I almost killed you."
But I didn't.
And you're like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
That's exactly what she says in the book.
Yeah,
That's dumb.
you can't argue. That's what,
I can't.
That's what was in the
I
book.
can't see past it because it's just.
Yeah.
She's just that girl from that show, Shake It Up.
What?
It was a show on Disney called Shake It Up. They wanted to like be professional dancers or something.
But they were just on Disney, so it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it would have been better if you just saw her back and not her face.
Oh yeah, that would have made it so much more.
That would have made it
mysterious.
so much more mysterious. And then when you see her, you don't
Mystery.
really know if it's her or not.
Yeah.
And then she walks off and you see like the back.
Well, I
Maybe
guess
she had
there
a
is an-
flag or something that he
There is
recognizes.
an effect at the end of the movie. He finally meets her, and you're like, okay, I got to go see the second one now, because there's supposed to be a lot about her or something.
Yeah, but see, all my expectations were like met
Yeah.
at the first movie.
So in E tier, I have Paul.
You have Paul in E?
E tier.
I would put
I would-
Paul in C. I would
No.
put Paul
Really?
in C. Yeah.
I'd put Paul at the bottom of F tier. He was the
Ooh.
worst one.
Also in E tier is his mom,
No, I would put her in B.
because they're
I
basically
liked her better than
both
Paul.
of them. In my eyes, they're the same character
They're not the same character.
because she's kind of
They were
like
almost.
the controlling mom, and then he's basically inheriting all of his
I feel like-
characteristics from his mom. So I kind of see them the same.
I feel like she had some kind of darker secret that she was just not saying or didn't even reveal in the first movie. So maybe
Yeah.
she's a tier higher.
Yeah.
I think she
But-
needs just more personality.
Yeah, she was just in the background just staring.
That actress spent most of the movie panicking and then hiding her panic as well as she could.
Yeah, like she was a good actor.
I think she was the best acted
she
character.
was probably the best actor. Yeah. Also in E tier, I have the trainer guy with the goatee.
Gurney.
Yeah, Gurney.
I
Gurney is
didn't
A
even know his
tier.
name.
Gurney is A tier.
Listen, I watched the movie last night, and I still don't know his name until now. Gurney.
The Duke says, "Smile, Gurney," and he says, "I am
That's
smiling."
the only time his name is mentioned.
Okay, yeah, he goes to D tier for that. I forgot.
He was also the guy he was training Paul.
And he did the fighting.
Paul says, "I can hear your footsteps, old man."
Oh
You
yeah.
see,
He was kind of mean though.
He was the right kind of mean.
but he was
I don't know, a
trying to
little
guess
bit
the
too
right
much
kind
for
of
me.
Well, he had Paul. Of course, he has to be mean. And the
Yeah.
kid's just sitting there. I don't feel like it.
So you're just not in the mood.
Right. Yeah,
And
he
the
should
guy's
be.
like-
He should be above tier for
and
Paul.
Gurney is cool.
Yeah.
the guy's like, dude, there's these bad guys that will kill you, and you're just sitting there saying,
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
feel like it.
I'm gonna put Gurney in B.
Nice.
I liked how he like just going
Right.
to town on people.
Yeah.
So that last fight.
So
Is he
in-
dead?
Did he die?
Gurney is not dead.
He's
I don't even know what
Good.
happened to him.
Yeah,
Gurney's not
yeah.
dead.
He kind of disappeared, didn't he? So in D tier, I have the guy that spat in front of his dad, and they were like all
Stilgar.
That's his name.
Stilgar's S tier. Stilgar's S tier.
I just found him kind of like I didn't know what he was.
See,
supposed to do
for those
in
of
the movie.
us that have watched the movie and do not know the book, we still don't know anybody's name. That's a flaw.
I'm
know
just,
Paul.
I'm just
Paul.
bad at names.
I know Paul.
I
that's an
learned
easy
Paul. I learned Paul at the end of the movie.
one. The second guy in D tier is the black guy in the beginning, with when they were on the home planet and he doing the paper thing.
What?
Oh,
The-
the herald.
The Spacing Guild guy.
The herald of the change.
The Herald of the Change.
He like got his paper and had
Yeah.
the Duke put his ring
Yeah.
on the thing. And
Do you
Now,
have the cage
D-tier-
people?
D tier aren't like characters I don't like. I just don't like them as much as people in C tier.
What about the
That's
cage
right.
people? You got them?
Who's the cage people?
They were in the cage.
I don't remember
You
that.
saw them for like 5 seconds.
In C tier, I have Paul's dad.
Paul's dad is S tier.
S tier.
Yeah, that's got to be S tier for that. That tooth.
Yeah, but he died.
That
I
tooth
feel
was
like-
great.
I don't
Yeah,
like
but-
him as much because
That was
I
a
see him
pretty
as
tooth.
like he's not really the best father.
He was a great dad.
No, he just kept
What did he do
staring at
wrong?
bulls. The whole movie about him looking at his dad's dead bull. And then he was like,
Also in C tier, I have the spider.
Oh, that spider thing?
that
Yeah.
spider was
I
That
kinda
thing's
like
coming
the
back
spider
somehow.
design.
Dude,
That thing's
was
coming back
creepy.
somehow.
thing was it had hands.
It did have
Yeah, I
hands.
didn't notice that
That's
until I
weird.
looked up the image to put it on the list.
Now,
Do you got it there?
Yeah, I do.
I'll say this about Paul's dad. He's laying there sleeping, and then he hears something go bump, and then he just, let me go check it out.
We're looking at
Yeah.
the image. The thing is hands. Like after the
And he
movie,
gets up.
you guys were saying the spider thing had hands, and I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, that spider thing I think was like a person.
Wait, really?
I think those Harkonnen guys are bad. I think they like took some of their enemies, pulled them apart, and remade them as like a creepy spider thing.
Cool.
Wow.
So on B tier, I have the Baron's bodyguard guy. You know, the guy with the really thick face and thick neck.
The guy with a
What?
thick neck.
Yeah.
Who's
I
the
really
Baron?
wish you knew these people's names.
Who was the Baron?
Wait,
Are you
was
talking
it
about
Baron?
the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, that looks just like him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Drax.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Dave
guy.
Dave Budesta.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. He wasn't his bodyguard. That was his nephew.
Oh, that was I didn't pick that up.
Was that the guy
Was that
that,
in the
came
book?
out? Was that the actor that came out and was all like, guns
Yeah,
are
that
so
one.
bad?
Uh,
I think he was the one that was complaining about all the guns.
Yeah. He's really.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's-
I like him as much as I like Gurney.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
They're both in B tier.
I don't know. I didn't. He showed up like twice in the whole movie, and each time he was like, "Uncle," and his uncle's just like,
Mainly just because I liked his character design. I
He
thought
was
it
the
matched
other
the
bald.
actor really well.
Listen, they're setting up. I mean, this is just the beginning of the story.
Whenever you have like a bald person in
Right.
a movie, you always get that actor.
Yeah, you get that guy.
Yeah. And then for A tier, I have the Baron.
Yeah,
I kind of liked his demeanor and how scary he was.
he was just very
okay.
threatening.
He was just.
I think we can all
boss.
agree that the Baron was the best guy.
I mean,
He was
Hey, you haven't even heard S tier yet.
Oh, come on. Wait, who was the Baron? The Baron's the fat guy, right?
Yeah, the big
guy.
fat, the floating
guy that
fat
floats?
guy with the
Yeah.
legs.
Just
He's
making
one
sure
of three
Yeah.
people I know the name of. There's Baron, Paul, and
Baron is
Duncan.
not his name.
No, it's
Oh.
not.
No, he is.
They call him the Baron every
He's
single
the
time.
Baron.
Also in A tier, I have the Doctor,
Dr. Uwe.
Dr. Uwe.
The
Yeah.
guy with the diamond on his forehead.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I liked him because he he was trying to help his wife.
He's trying to help
he
his
had a
wife.
Good heart.
So he killed
He got
everybody.
bamboozled.
Yeah, but
He's
he
just
had a
trying to
good
help his
heart because he
wife.
wanted to save his wife, and is also kind of smart, trying to poison the Baron like that.
You want to poison the Baron. He also put that tent and stuff in the helicopter for Paul. And,
Oh, I did not catch that.
You didn't
I,
catch that?
I didn't know where they got the tent.
You were turning the volume up and down
With my foot.
You're missing
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
didn't-
audio.
I didn't see that either.
No, I didn't even pick that up.
Yeah, so
All I saw was his emblem on something in the plane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him on the plane. I was like, "What the heck?"
they
I hope they explain
scratched
that
that
later.
little diamond, and then Paul takes it out. He's like, "Oh, this is a Furman pack." He opens it up, and there's that little note that has the same emblem. He's like, "Oh, this is from Dr. Uwe," and then
Oh, I
they
forgot about
read
that.
that note, and then he takes
Oh.
out that little package with his dad's ring in it.
Oh, I
And
see.
then when he was installing the tooth in the Duke's mouth, he takes off the Duke's ring and he's like, "For Paul," and he packs it away because he's gonna make sure Paul gets that.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
catch that either.
I think around that scene, I just zoned out because
Really?
I don't know. I think I zoned out a couple times in the movie. 'Cause
I don't
feel
want
like
to
I
sound.
missed some pieces.
I don't want to
was
sound
this the
mean or
nachos?
anything, but
It was the
I feel
nachos.
like I zoned out a bunch of times too during the movie.
I can tell you zoned out.
I don't
Like-
know. It's just one of those
not
movies.
in a
There's-
bad way. I just was like, it did something, and then I kind of thought like, oh, I wonder where that's gonna go, or I wonder how that could be, and
Yeah.
then mine just wanders.
Wandering.
The
Yeah.
last two people on A tier is Duncan Idaho, because he also had a good heart. I like that.
I like
character.
Duncan.
He's also Aquaman.
Yeah.
And it was also
That's
and,
the
and the
only
other
thing.
guy is the tree guy watering the trees.
Oh yeah, I was
yeah.
hoping you had him
Dude, yeah.
that guy
S
watering the
tier.
tree.
Guy watering
doing
the
his job.
trees. Yeah, only
'Cause then-
appearance he was like, "What are you doing?" "I'm watering my trees." I was like, "That's my favorite character."
And then Paul's like, "We should cut them down to save water," and he's like, "Nah, man.
No,
these
man.
are sacred."
I was like, "Yeah."
You're
Not
like,
anymore. Now they're dead.
Now the Harkonnens burn him down.
"That's true. Poor trees."
In an S tier, I have the mouse.
Yes.
The mouse with the
Because
sweat
when I saw,
down his ears.
yeah, with the sweat on his ears. When
That
I saw the
mouse.
mouse, I was like, man, somebody really did a good job making that 3D model.
Yep.
Or maybe it was a puppet.
No, it was definitely CGI.
Definitely CGI.
I don't think
It was real.
there.
Yeah.
So
He's
we
an
can
S tier
appreciate
because
that.
it's such a well done 3D model. You can't pass it down.
Can't pass it up. You know what else is
Somebody
really
put a lot
good?
of work into that for it to show up for only 2 seconds.
The Baron took him 8 hours to get into that fat suit and all those prosthetics.
Hey, he's an A tier.
Come on, man. He's not in like B tier.
Right.
Was that the only one in S tier? The mouse?
The other one in S tier is the guy. He had his eyes go up and he did math.
oh yeah,
Oh,
that
Math
guy.
Man.
That
The
guy.
guy with the umbrella
Mm-hmm.
and the weird little makeup thing on his lip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the makeup. That's a tattoo.
Sure.
So all of the computer people are marked like that with that tattoo. So you know that they're
Computer people?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He was a computer?
Hopefully they explain this in the next movie a little bit. But
Okay. Well,
And-
I
But
didn't-
actually, computers are banned in Dune.
computers are not allowed in this universe.
Oh my goodness.
Clay and I heard that fact from
From Isaac. Yeah.
Computers are banned?
Yeah, so there was a really, really bad war between humans and robots, basically.
it was bad.
It was very bad. And the humans won.
This is the Dunes?
Yes.
No.
Yes, this is Dune. So after the humans won, they outlawed all robotics. They outlawed all computers.
There's so much to this story that movie just did not explain to somebody who does not know anything about it.
It's awesome.
Well, it's okay.
It's gotta be
because
awesome,
I saw
I believe
that
you, but-
character and I liked him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
I didn't know
matter.
he was a computer.
he wasn't
I
a
didn't
computer.
either.
That
I
reminds
thought he
me.
was just an alien.
He was
and he was just
he
smart.
was a dude who had been born and genetically manipulated to be extra math.
Oh wait, so
smart.
he's not a cyborg?
No, he's not.
Oh,
And they don't live very long. They have shorter lifespans.
But he was
They
old.
live for 2 minutes.
He wasn't that. He looked old, but he wasn't that old. He just ages faster.
Okay.
Oh man.
That reminds me. Why do they have swords?
I think it's because if you have a shield and you shoot someone with a
in
laser,
Dune, guns are banned.
if you shoot someone with a laser and you have a shield, you like kill everyone. So you
It's a
need
nuclear explosion.
the only way to get through the shield is to move slowly.
And use a dart.
That's dumb.
And last one S tier is Hans Zimmer, obviously.
Clearly, Hans Zimmer S tier.
Yeah.
Best
I mean,
character.
he was there the entire movie, and you didn't even see him.
Yeah,
Just off screen.
he's just off
Yeah.
screen
Playing
with
music.
his little synthesizer.
Yeah, in his socks.
Yeah. With his dog.
I want to see the cut of Dune where the screen's just a little bit wider and you see Hans just sitting there doing his music. He's like, okay, next part is this. And he presses the drum button.
They widen the screen by like a few pixels, and you just see like his hand, or like his pinky, just in the back.
It's a top-down version of his hand with his keyboard.
Great.
And that was it.
Let's average out the TanPants review of Dune in stars, I guess.
Okay.
So
Okay.
1 to 5. You can do like half stars or percentages or
I can do
whatever.
halves.
Yeah. Let's start with Max because he hated it the most.
I didn't hate it. It was
just watch. He'll show you.
it was so much that I was just like, ugh.
Max, we
Oh,
didn't
I've-
ask for your
I've-
opinion. We asked for a number.
I've noticed with Maxwell, he doesn't like most movies. He has this
Yeah.
response for almost every single movie he sees,
All the new
except for
movies.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
For some reason, he loves Galaxy Quest.
What about
Great movie.
Spider-Man 2?
He loves it.
Spider-Man 2 's
with
Tobey
with,
Maguire
Tobey
and
Maguire?
Doc Ock?
Doc Ock.
Did I like
Spider-Man
that
2.
one?
What about Spider-Man
I
3?
think I like that one. No, I like number 1 better, actually.
With Green Goblin?
Yeah, it
Was
was
it-
just good.
Yeah.
Classic.
Defoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
No, I like movies like one of my favorites, like Silverado.
Did you like Quiet Place?
I did. I liked Quiet Place. That was a good movie because it was good.
Okay, so how many stars do you give Dune?
I'll give it a 3.5
Out
3.5 out of 5?
because it was a very pretty movie. It had a lot of really cool things in it. Like I loved the dragonfly spaceship
That was really cool.
things. Those were sweet.
Oh, no. My favorite part of the movie is when the Duke is like, we're going down, and he turns it off, and they go,
Yeah, it was cool.
that was really cool.
I liked the sandworm. I didn't see him on the tier list, but he would be definitely S.
Why wasn't the worm on the
I
tier
forgot about
list,
that.
Joshua?
Oh, yeah, S tier.
I guess it's F tier because you totally forgot about him.
I forgot
I mean,
about it.
'cause-
I didn't even think about it.
Because worm,
But he's S tier.
guys, worm trumps all.
the worm was
Yeah.
pretty good.
So that was really cool.
So,
So the whole like idea of the movie and like the pretty parts, like the scenery and all the
yeah.
costumes and the suits, that was all really cool.
Cool. So you
But only 3.5 because I didn't connect to any of the characters. They all felt too cynical, and I get that's probably what they were trying to achieve, and they achieved it. And yeah, again, for somebody who doesn't know anything about the story, that just jumped right into it, the whole time I'm going, what is that? What are they doing? Why sand drum?
sand.
I didn't even know that was dangerous, and they start running, and I'm like, why are they running?
Well, I thought
So-
of the Jedi Knight Academy game. It was like the second level
Mm-hmm.
when you crash land on the
Oh,
planet and you
yeah.
can't step on the sand or the worm will eat you.
Yeah. That was basically just Dune.
Right.
So you gave 3.5.
3.5.
Josh, what do you give?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people will like this movie.
It was pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Clay, what do you give it?
I'll give it a 4.3.
4.3?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I also give it a 4 out of 5. I
I'm
also
gonna
give
change
it-
mine to 3 then.
If they shortened it by 10 minutes, it would have been a 5.
No, I'm with Max too. If I have never seen Lord of the Rings, it would be a 5.
Oh, yeah.
But I've seen Lord of the Rings, and
But you can't compare Lord of the Rings to other movies. That's
No.
like comparing a glass of sand to like a glass
Listen,
of orange juice.
no, this is what it is. My personality likes that.
Lord of the Rings or Dune?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is a warm movie.
Yeah.
Dune was a colder
So
movie.
Good. So
It's
happy.
like when you put a
I-
cinnamon roll in the microwave.
I wouldn't watch I could watch Lord of the Rings more than I could watch Dune. I think Dune would get older faster than Lord of the Rings would.
Oh yeah.
But if you ask me right now if you want to go see Dune in IMAX, I would say yes. Absolutely.
See, I'm hard on movies. I just am. I just think all the good ones have been made. So
Except for Dune Part 2.
Have you seen the new Godzilla versus King Kong?
no.
That's good.
It's really good.
I was literally on the edge of my seat when I was in the movies watching it.
So do we average out the
Yeah, how do you
stars and say,
average
like,
this?
That's a 3.825.
So it was a 3.8 score?
Yep.
So almost a 4.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah,
all right.
a solid movie. Thank you for listening to another episode of TanPants.
Thanks, Patreons. Naven Jr., Big Tynan, Mr. E.
You guys are cool.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun reviewing this movie and experiencing the movie. Hopefully,
watching it.
And watching it was fun too.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll be back with no more normal episodes of TanPants. I thought this would be a one-off thing.
Episodes to do with apples.
But yeah. This
Clay, what were the apples for?
the next episode. So Clay forgot about the review tonight, and he brought over his topic, and it's just a bag of apples and a knife. So I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask him what it's about. I'm going to wait till next week to find out. But next week, guys, something about apples. Thank y'all for joining us. See you next time.
Adios.
Bye.